Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we're going to be talking Married at First Sight Season 15 Episode 7. So basically this episode, not much really went down in this episode. You know, all the couples are returning from their honeymoon from Mexico, now moving into the neutral apartment that the show provides them for the experiment. So this episode, we've seen all the couples basically move into the apartment, and you know they all got to go and see their spouses got to go see their spouses' homes, where they live and how they do things and stuff. So you know, Sasha and Nate, Lindy and Miguel, Kristen and Mitch. With Kristen and Mitch, when they went to their house, you know, Mitch was actually not as clean. You know, Mitch is Mr. Save the World, Save the Environment, but he was not clean in his house, and Kristen was pretty worried about that. She even mentioned on the after party that, you know, they went to a grocery store, and that he didn't want to go to the grocery store she wanted. He went to his own grocery store and did not want to put the vegetables in the bag like you're supposed to when the produce are out there and you put it in the bag. He has this little fanny pack that he puts them in and then put them on a conveyor belt. I'm like, dude, if you're about saving the world, but what about the germs, especially during COVID? Like, come on, man. So yeah, was a little surprised by little Mitch's apartment. And you know, and Alexis and Justin, nice apartment and everything. They got the nice little dogs and stuff. So yeah, that was basically it with that. You know, everybody just checked out everybody's apartments. Everybody's, for the most part, was pretty nice other than Mitch's. So anyway, this also is the episode when Pastor Cal comes in and talks to the couples. So I'm going to start with Sasha and Nate. So Sasha and Nate, like, one of their topics is about kids. And, you know, like, Sasha's a little bit older, you know, so she wants kids, like, eventually, you know, and so does Nate, but they want to be, like, stable and stuff. I think he also had this conversation with Kristen and Mitch as well. You know, Sasha and Nate, you know, they're just, you know, we know they have that physical connection, but now that they're in real life, I think now is the time where they're going to have to dig down deep into each other's lives to see what's really going on, how they communicate, because Nate is pretty out there and stuff, and Sasha's a little bit more reserved and stuff. So I think at this point they need to really dig down deep to see where they're gonna go at. So that's just my opinion on that one. Next up was Morgan and Ben. So Morgan and Ben, so when they moved in, now Morgan has some cats and stuff, and about how Ben was talking, it sounded like he never knew what a cat does. Like when they went over to Morgan's apartment, and he was saying, oh, it smells so good in here and stuff and everything. So, and Ben asked Morgan, do you change the cat litter like every day? And Morgan was like, yes. So wait, does the cat always go in the litter box? Like, yes. Like, what do you think a cat does? Like, Ben really sounded like he did not know what a cat does. Like, you know, he's like, oh, I had, like, cats and dogs in the past that just always went anywhere and stuff. I didn't, like, it really sounded like he did not know what a cat does. So, Morgan was just like, what do you think? And everything. So, that was just a little funny, But then Pastor Cal talked to them, and, you know, they talked about the incident that happened down in Mexico when Ben told Nate that Alexis was one credit short and stuff. And, you know, Morgan felt like he broke her trust, you know. And so Pastor Cal asked her, it's like, you know what, you have this wall up, but who can take down this wall? And Morgan was like, I can. And like, will you be able to take this wall down? And Morgan was like, yes, I can. You know, and and Pastor Cal basically told him, you know, Ben just overreacted. But now, you know, you just gotta, like, always go to your wife. Always come to your wife first. Don't overreact so soon, but just always go to your wife. And, you know, Morgan started crying. You know, she brought up the issues with her father and stuff and everything. But But yeah, but other than that, they had a nice little talk with Pastor Cal. Felt like they were productive. I hope they can get over that. I know that's something to something that's like a little touchy, but they're married, so they can work it out. So, and you know what? I also know, I was noticing this last night. A lot of people, especially a lot of these couples, there's a difference. There's their mindset in this relationship is different now that they're married compared to if they're actually boyfriend and girlfriend. Like Morgan said, if this would have happened as a boyfriend and girlfriend, basically she would have left. So that's the challenges about the dating life. But once you're married, it's easier to work out. They can work it out because you are married at this point. So I think people's mindsets do change once they get married and able to work out like minor problems like that. So kudos to them. Next I want to talk is Lindy and Miguel. So Pastor Cal met with them. Lindy and Miguel, they're the bubbly couple. Lindy talks a lot. She talks a lot, but one of the discussions that they had, and they talked to Pastor Cal about this, is that Miguel is very worried about decision day. He's trying to, the back of his mind is basically decision day. And Lindy is like, listen, I'm not worried about decision day. Decision day is still about 7 weeks away. I'm preparing this as long-term forever, really. So I don't want to keep thinking decision day. That's a trigger for me. And that's what she said. And so, and Miguel wants to keep it real about it, but he was just like, you know what? Okay, let's change. And they told Pastor Cal this. Let's change the word decision day to our vow renewal day. And I'm like, okay, that's good. That's good. Vow renewal day, that sounds a little bit better. That sounds like, I know they only got 8 weeks and there's a decision day coming, but all the couples need to prepare to say yes on decision day. You guys are married, but everybody needs to prepare to say yes for decision day. Whatever happens after the cameras start rolling is up to y'all, but you guys are legally married. You knew what you signed up for, and you guys have that connection right now. So yes, just prepare to say yes on decision day. And so I'm glad that he compromised with Lindy and said, okay, we'll change it from decision day to vow renewal day. And that made Lindy feel way more comfortable. So, yeah. So that was them. And then next I want to talk is Kristen and Mitch. Kristen and Mitch, and as we all know, in the honeymoon, they had their ups and downs and stuff. 1 minute Mitch is not attracted to her, and the next day he's pouncing all over her and stuff. They move in together. They take a shower together and stuff, and just have a little time. Pastor Kyle came over and they admitted that they consummated the marriage. So, and as we know, a couple weeks ago, Kristen was saying that if we don't consummate the marriage or he doesn't say I love you by decision day, then she will ask for the divorce. So they finally consummated the marriage. So yeah, they're off to a slow start, but they're picking up. They are picking up. Mitch said that he was too much in his head. It was all an overwhelming experience coming from the wedding to the honeymoon. So, he's finally relaxing and getting back into it and having feelings for Kristen. And Kristen, she's very beautiful. I hate to sound like a guy, but she looked really beautiful this episode. She had these nice shorts on and stuff. So I think she's doing things that we don't get to see. That's not talked about, that's trying to get Mitch to be attracted to her. I think, and I was starting to catch up on it, and I was like, why is she wearing shorts? And this is filmed in February. Now, granted, it's San Diego, but still, I was thinking, why? But I'm just thinking, well, maybe she's trying to get Mitch to be more attracted to her and stuff. So that goes without saying, but that's just what I picked up on. But I think that Kristen and Mitch, they're out their slow start, but I think, I still think Kristen is more into him than he's into her, but I do think Mitch is getting more feelings towards her, and the fact that they consummated the marriage is a really good start. So now, another topic is that with Kristen and Mitch is that Kristen actually makes more money than Mitch. Now, this is the first time. This is the first time where that's not a problem for them. In past seasons on Married at First Sight, like I remember with Marilyn and Gil, like Marilyn was really adamant about not wanting to make more than her husband, and ultimately, like and there was a point where she was making more than him, and she got really furious with that, and ultimately ended the marriage over a situation like that, So, but with Kristen and Mitch, Kristen actually makes more than Mitch, and Mitch just like, yeah, well, I don't have to do so much, and they just laughed that off. I'm glad with Kristen and Mitch. Mitch said that he is not intimidated by her making more than him, and Kristen is not reading so deep into that, because, I mean, I know when it comes to finances, that does terrorize a marriage, a relationship and stuff. But I think that once you're married, and as long as he's working, as long as you're working hard, bringing in the bills and being smart with it, I don't care who makes more than who. If my wife makes more than me, great. If I make more than my wife, great. That should not be a deal breaker. The only time it should be a deal breaker is if one person is lounging and not doing nothing on purpose. That should be the deal breaker when it comes to finances, or if there's a gambling issue and stuff. But I'm glad Kristen and Mitch don't see that as a red flag, and they're taking this serious, unlike what Marilyn did to Gil back in season 13. So yeah, kudos to Kristen and Mitch. They're doing really well. And last but not least is Alexis and Justin. Now, Alexis and Justin. Oh, by the way, with Ben, it was Ben who told Justin about Morgan's one credit being short, not Nate, my bad. But anyway, Alexis and Justin. So as we all know, Alexis and Justin were on their honeymoon, and they're both madly in love with each other. Things turned a big 180 once they got to the house. They both got dogs and stuff, and they're trying to bring the dogs over and everything. Well, when Justin brought his dog over and he met with Alexis's dog, and this was a very, very sad scene. Justin's dog attacked Alexis's dog and caused her eye to bleed. Caused the eye to bleed. So Justin had to take his dog to some kind of training thing for a couple of weeks and stuff. And Alexis her dog had to have this big blue thing, big blue collar over her to cover her face and stuff. It was just really sad. And here's what I'm going to talk about with this. I am, and don't hate me for this, I'm not much of a dog person. I really not a fan of dogs, but watching that was so sad. And I don't tolerate any animal abuse either, even animal to animal. I don't like that, and that was just so sad. And Justin was all upset, crying. Alexis was crying, and it was just a sad scene. Now, with Alexis and Justin, that was obviously the talk of the town. Basically, when Pastor Cal came over and he asked them, okay, what happened with the dogs? And they explained what happened, and Alexis is frustrated at Justin for not telling her that I guess his dog has been in other dog fights before. And Justin was I could have said that, but I felt like that was irrelevant. I thought that he said the other fights my dog has been into has been when the other dogs are in the wrong and stuff. So, but then he started crying. He's like, I should have been a better owner and stuff. And Pastor Cal asked them both, what do you want to see from each other? Alexis said, you know what, I do want you to get rid of your dog, but I do want you to also tell me everything. And Justin's like, well, I can't just get rid of my dog, I had my dog for a while, so. And I'm gonna comment about this one. I was recently talking to somebody who this person was a complete dog lover. She had this emotional support dog. She was like, you know what, if you want to date me, you have to, my dog comes first. My dog has to like you and everything. Like, if the dog doesn't like you, I won't like you. If you don't accept my dog, we have to get him stuff. And, and it was hard for me because I'm not a dog person. And, with me not being a dog person and this person, so it's all about the dog, it just didn't work out. And now, and when I saw this scene, it just brought a little bit of flashbacks to what I just recently went through. And like, I worried that now their marriage is going to be in jeopardy because of dogs. Now, dogs are like people who have dogs and don't have kids. Their dog is their baby, and I can respect that. I had a hard time like understanding it at first, but now I see why. But at the same time, Alexis and Justin, they were just in the honeymoon, all lovey-dovey. I'm madly in love with you, this, and that. And then, like, now their marriage is in jeopardy because of a dog incident. It takes something like that, they have this great connection. I would hate for their marriage to end because of a dog accident, and stuff, I would hate for anybody's relationship to be ended over something like that, because, you got to train and control your animals. So, but, Justin had mentioned it was irrelevant, but, but I feel like part of me personally, I would have felt like it was irrelevant too, but like but bringing into your wife, moving in with your wife, and your wife has a dog, and I think you should have been like, hey, listen, we gotta be careful. My dog can be a little attacky. My dog's been into a couple fights before. I just hope he doesn't do nothing to your dog or whatever, and something happened. So that one, again, I'm just rambling, but that was a very sad scene, and I hope they can overcome that. So I hope they can work out something with that. I just pray that that's not a deal breaker for Alexis. I just pray. So I hope they do get back to the way they were on their honeymoon. So yeah, guys, that was Married at First Sight. That was my recap for today. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back on Sunday to do 90 Day Fiance, and be sure to watch that. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.